What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the channel. This is the Benny Hustles YouTube channel. My name is Ben, obviously. On this channel we talk about all things side hustling and basically just vlog my side hustle journey and talk about topics that I might be interested in the side hustling world. Today's topic, as you can see on the screen, we've got a can recycling video. Today I went and did my monthly, don't know if you can see that in the inset, monthly can recycling, made $10.70. So that's about a monthly average for me, is about $10. We do it about once a month. So I make roughly $120 a year. It got me thinking though, is there anybody that does this, I guess, kind of professionally? And as you can see in this video, there apparently is, but does anyone do this kind of as a side hustle or an extra source of income? So yeah, I found a couple of videos. First one here we got from Guardian Australia YouTube. Let's click play and see what happens.
I didn't really like it. Very dirty and yucky. I don't want to do it, but if I don't do it, I didn't get nothing.
This is a 71-year-old pensioner, Thai expat. Wow, that's crazy. So, 71-year-old and pensioner. I wonder how many. She does it for every night for the last 2 years. Wow, that's insane.
When my children they grow up, so I have to stop. No one helping, and I just work with other people, with another restaurant. And after that, COVID. Stop COVID. From that time, I didn't go back.
One of the traits that we see for those who do this professionally is that they tend to be from lower income, low SES groups. And so for them...
So I just want to stop there and talk about that. So low income, low SES. So this lady here is a 71-year-old and a pensioner. So I believe pensioner income is quite low in Australia. Don't quote me on it, but I believe it's about anything from 15,000 up to 40,000 in around that range. Don't quote me on that, but this lady's also 71, so she has her prospects for work aren't as great as someone like myself who is a lot younger. She's kind of at the end of her working life, so she just needs that little bit extra income. Cost of living is obviously going up in Australia as well, so I can't imagine what the pensioners have to do to, I guess, survive.
This is a substantial income transfer that they're receiving by collecting these beverage containers and returning them for a refund. These policies have been very successful, and they reach a broad group of people. Everyone who buys a beverage container pays this deposit, and anyone has this incentive to recycle their container.
I just want to build on the last point as well. It's actually tax-free as well here in Australia, I believe, if you're doing it as an individual. I'm not sure if you get taxed if you do it, say, as a business, or if anyone has even tried that, but it's tax-free income, so that's also a bonus. 66% of adults in New South Wales, I'd say that's probably like the Australian average as well. Most people I know have a bin that's set to the side for can recycling, so they can cash in maybe every couple of months. So, it's a pretty common thing now here in Australia.
This is an unintended consequence of the policy. If you were to design a program where you're trying to help those who need income support, you wouldn't do it through a bottle deposit refund program. You would design a program that was directed towards income support.
She makes $40 a night. So she's been doing this for the last 2 years. It says every night. I'm not sure how realistic that is though, or whether that's true. Surely she's had to have a night off and, I don't know, have dinner with her family or something. $40 a night for the last 2 years. I just want to do some quick maths on that actually. say she does do 40 every day of the week, $280 a week, multiply that by 52 weeks in a year. So this lady makes $14,560 roughly every year. If she's going every single night, multiply that by 2, almost 30k. I'd love to know how many hours she puts in. Surely it's like 2 or 3 hours max. I want to then divide that. No, it's not. $40 divided by 3. $13 an hour. Let's say she does 3 hours. Surely she has to do that much to make $40 a night. There's 400 cans she needs to pick up. Maybe not. I'm not sure. That's definitely way less than minimum wage here in Australia. So, but yeah, it's free money for her.
When you do nothing, you get nothing. You do something, you get something.
Yeah, crazy. Applaud that lady for putting in the hard work at 71 years old. At the same time, it kind of highlights, I guess, how bad it is for pensioners, and how, I guess, that makes me feel kind of sad and makes me want to work hard to set myself up for that age. I guess her being Thai, she's probably, she immigrated here and didn't have that kind of support that I have, I guess, with my super and things like that to set me up for that age. But yeah, crazy. Applaud her definitely at 71 years old. Let's jump into the second video. This one here is from Fox 5 New York, so this is obviously a US video. Let's see what's going on over there.
Well, your used cans and bottles could soon be worth even more money.
That's right. A new bill in the state legislature would raise the amount you get for recycling from 5 cents to 10 cents.
Fox Eye's Kendall Green shows us how this could be a big difference in many people's lives.
5 cents to 10 cents, 100% raise basically on what they can make for cans. So I guess if that lady was in America, she would be making only that $14,000 in the 2 years that she was doing it. Obviously, the US dollar compared to the Australian is I think the US is a bit stronger right now, but yeah, crazy. A 100% jump in what you can make of cans.
Any day you can spot canners across the city lugging plastic bags full of cans and bottles. Chances are every week they're making their way to redemption centers like these to meet.
I never see people like that here in Australia, but I see them like on bikes and stuff with a few like bags hanging off, and they're riding around and looking through bins and things like that. But that's a lot of cans.
Dory, who usually cashes the canners out.
Some people do this for a living. Other people just do it because they want to buy something nice with it.
My oldest son is 20, so it's 20 years that we have been
20
collecting.
years she's been collecting. I'd love to know how much she's made over 20 years. I'm sure she probably hasn't really recorded that, but crazy.
Midori hands cash over to moms like Edith Hernandez, who's had 3 more children since she started collecting cans as a side hustle.
It can help, yeah, especially when I have 3 of them in college, 1 in high school right now, and hopefully he's going to college too.
A study found earnings on average for canners make up 1/3 of the state's minimum wage. So a bottle bill sponsored by State Senator Rachel May expands the items on the intake list, adding wine and liquor to the products on the list. But most importantly,
so in Australia, we don't have wine and liquor bottles. They aren't recyclable for us. Or like plastic milk bottles either, which is a bit of a shame, but I'm guessing they must cost a bit more to recycle compared to the smaller ones.
Doubles the payout from 5 cents per item collected to 10 cents, the first raise in 40 years. Now, many may not understand the significance of an extra 5 cents per can, but for Miss Edith here, it's extra pad, extra means to give to her kids that are in school, in college, for transportation, for books. Every cent counts.
It will be a lot, because whatever it comes out here, I have to give my daughter for transportation so she can go to college. She grabs the subway.
But opponents of the
bill.
bills.
Stop there and applaud this lady. She's obviously doing this to help her children. So, the things that parents would do, like the lengths they'll go for their children, it's crazy. I applaud her. So she was saying that it costs, how much does it cost to go each way?
say it creates a burden on liquor store owners, requiring them to hold on to a larger volume of bottles before they're picked up.
I think she said it was $3 per way, so that was before when it was 5 cents. That's 60 cans that she'd have to collect just for that one-way trip, and obviously now it's increasing to 10 cents, so 30 for her. That's big. So the work she used to do, she'd be able to get, I guess, a return trip for her children.
To this, we never were. We don't have the extra space. You know how expensive New York is. You know how expensive it is to do business.
Most recent estimates count between 4,000 and 8,000 canners across the state. Edith, though, is hopeful the bill gets passed and enacted by 2026 to earn more. That'll cut into the nearly $3 each way it takes for her kids to pursue a better life for themselves.
Some people say, oh, it's only $3. How many cans I have to pick up
There
for
you go,
$3?
$3. Yeah, man. So used to be 60, now it's going to be 30 for her. That's a big help.
Kendall Green, Fox 5 News.
Awesome. So yeah, that's the two videos I had today. So these are obviously people that want that extra source of income just to help their lives basically, and or help their children. In that lady's case, the 71-year-old pensioner is obviously money for her to survive, most probably. She's a bit too old to work by the sounds of it. You know, COVID kind of destroyed her work prospects. She's just making a bit extra bit of income on top of her pension. Yeah, let me know what you guys think of recycling cans. I'd say that it'd be very hard to make this like a full-time hustle, or even really a prolific side hustle. You'd need a lot of cans to be able to make or bring anything in worthwhile, and the amount of time that you'd have to do it, I'd say it probably wouldn't be worthwhile comparing that to other, I guess, ventures as a side hustle to make money. You know, unless you had like a source of cans to do this, and a constant source. And actually on that point, in the past I've asked restaurants and pubs if they would give me their cans and I could recycle it for them, maybe even give them a cut of the recycling, but basically all of them said no. You know, we already have a recycling scheme, or someone already collects it. So I think it's so established now that you can even have these recycling companies come and pick up your cans for a percentage of what they're worth. So it would be really hard to make this as a full-time side hustle, or full-time hustle, or a side hustle. It's really just something like what I do, $10 a month. Sometimes a little bit more depending on the season, if it's a festive season. But yeah, let me know what you guys think, whether you recycle cans, how much money you make doing so, or whether you've actually turned this into a side hustle, or maybe even if you own a recycling business that, I guess, picks up people's cans and takes a percentage of the cut, which I've heard happen before. So yeah, let me know. Thanks for watching the video. Please leave a like, subscribe, and a comment, and I'll see you in the next video. Catch.